Ciao a tutti cari amici di D-Major, oggi siamo qua per festeggiare un importantissimo anniversario, il 35esimo anniversario della The Gould Foundation e siamo qua con un ospite specialissimo, Mr.Brian Levine, l'Executive Director della Gould Foundation. Hello guys, we are here for celebrate together the 35th birthday of the Gould Foundation, and we are here with a very super special guest, Mr. Brian Levine, the Executive Director of the Gould Foundation. Hello Brian.
Hi, Alida. How are you? Thank you so much for that very warm introduction. And yes, it's true. We are turning 35 at the Glenn Gould Foundation. We were established legally on September the 19th of 1983, just a little less than a year after Glenn's tragic death. And the foundation owes its existence to three wonderful men who were our founding directors. They were John Peter Lee Roberts, one of Glenn's closest friends, supporters. He was in charge of many aspects of music and production at CBC, and he was responsible for Glenn having the creative and artistic freedom to do so many of his own projects throughout his career. And so John was our founding president. And then the second person who was involved in incorporating the foundation was John McGreevy, the wonderful Irish-born Canadian filmmaker and director who produced the Cities series of documentaries that included Glenn Gould's Toronto. So he worked very closely with Glenn, spoke to him all the time, and was really a creative ally of his. And then the third was John Lawson, who is a lawyer in Toronto and a lifelong patron of the arts and volunteer in the arts. And the three of them incorporated the foundation. It also would not have been possible without the support of Stephen Posen, who was and is the executor of Glenn Gould's estate and was Glenn's lawyer during his lifetime, who supported the efforts to create the Glenn Gould Foundation very enthusiastically, and along the way, of course, other friends and colleagues of Glenn's like Ray Roberts and many people who have been active supporters of the arts in Toronto and Canada have been involved with the organization. So to all of them for the vision, and in fact, the three Johns, John Roberts, John Lawson, and John McGreevy, and Steve Posen are all with us, so thank you for making it possible. And when they started, I've read a lot of the letters and papers and meeting minutes from that time. They had so many different ideas, so they created the foundation with a very wide set of mandates and responsibilities to promote the love and enjoyment of the arts, to partner with other organizations, to work on performance throughout the world, to create prizes or scholarships. And of course, we ended up creating the Glenn Gould Prize. And we've worked on so many different projects throughout the years. We've commissioned artworks, we've published a magazine, we've presented concerts, we've helped artists and scholars doing research on Gould's projects. We've worked with the school system here in Toronto and Ontario on creating study guides and materials. We've helped to establish other organizations to promote music and music education like Sistema Toronto. We've also partnered with wonderful artists and arts organizations around the world, and that's really why we're talking, because D-Major is one of the great arts organizations that we're so proud and happy to call friends of the Glenn Gould Foundation, to work with in partnership. And every time I see an email coming in from Alida and Alberto from D-Major, I always smile, because they do such amazing work, and they really have the spirit of Glenn always close to their hearts. So through those collaborations, of course, we become much stronger, and we link to the friends and the admirers of Glenn's and the people who love his music and love what he stood for all over the world. And so it really does make us very, very happy to have gotten to 35. We started from a very small base and a very small number of people. It wasn't certain that we would get beyond the first few years. Certainly there have been times where we've struggled, but we've also gone from presenting the Glenn Gould Prize, which started off very small. I mean, it's a $50,000 prize given out once every second year, to now being a prize, once every third year, to now being a $100,000 prize given every second year. Our juries have grown in the international reputation and in the fame and achievements of their members, and the prize, which was always conceived of as a multidisciplinary prize, a prize that would be eligible for to artists from any field of artistic creation, that has grown. We started, the prize was presented in a one-night event to an audience of 200 or 300 people, and it stayed that way for a while. But now we've grown to a level where we've had, in a single prize celebration, as many as 22 or 23 events. We've presented at those events to audiences of over 23 or 24,000 people, and we've generated recognition and visibility internationally through the prize all over the world, often to reaching as many as 50 or 60 million people with the prize presentations. So, we like to think that this is our contribution to extending the legacy of Glenn. What he created himself through his own work, that will stand the test of time forever. But to keep the spirit alive, we have to touch the lives of people who have been creating since he was with us, and to the next generations of young artists, and to use what Glenn symbolizes to support the arts in every way, shape, and form, and to create a symbol which we hope will be eventually seen at the level that the Nobel Prize is seen in other fields, the preeminent prize. That's, to us, a great living tribute to Glenn and his ideas and his passion and his goodness as a human being, his philanthropy, but also the incredible flame of artistic passion that burned in everything that he did. So we just want to thank all of you. We thank you for your support. We thank you for those of you who are able to donate and contribute to the work of the foundation. It's so greatly appreciated. And to continue carrying the torch of this really rare and unique artist whose music and whose legacy still resounds all over the world, as D Major proves so passionately and so eloquently in everything that you do, in the name of your own organization and in tribute to Glenn as well. So thank you all. I guess this is the happy birthday moment. So we're looking forward to the next 35 years of the Glenn Gould Foundation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brian. And Glenn is always in our art, and we congratulate to you and to all the Glenn Gould Foundation for the amazing job that you do for promoting art in every level with the young people, for the new generation, as you said, and I'm totally agree with you. So I'm so happy to receive this warmest word from you, and I'm also so excited for this prize this year because there is Jessie Norman. So it's an incredible artist and a true inspiration. Also here in Italy, she's well known. She's very
yes, absolutely.
Great artist.
We really are so excited that the new laureate of the Glenn Gould Prize is the incredible Jessie Norman. This is an artist who really achieved greatness at the highest, most sublime level through her art. Who rose from a very, very modest beginning in rural Georgia, actually in the town of Augusta, Georgia, and conquered the world stage. Started her career in Berlin at the Deutsche Opera, and then starred on the stages of every major opera house, soloed with every major orchestra, worked with every great conductor and collaborator in the world, and her performances of music like Wagner and Strauss and so much more is unparalleled to this day. But along the way as well, she stood for such noble and eloquent principles for human dignity and human rights, for equality and civil rights, and also for protecting the environment. She performed for concerts saving the rainforest. She performed to help find a cure for AIDS. She was the final performer in the 12-hour-long Free Nelson Mandela concert that was held at Wembley Stadium for 80,000 people, and it was all rock acts and big-name pop stars for 12 hours, and the grand finale, which was seen on television by 600 million people, was Jesse Norman singing Amazing Grace. She sang at the inaugurations of American presidents, at the presentation of the Nobel Peace Prize, at the Ground Zero following 9/11. She was chosen by the people of France to sing La Marseillaise for the French bicentennial. And you look at that, the Russians invited her for the 150th birthday of Tchaikovsky. This is the artist as statesman. This is the artist as a force for good and for change in society in the world. And that's why we're so proud that in February we will be presenting the prize to Jesse Norman. And I can't tell you all the things that we're going to do to honor her and all the great performers who will be involved. We'll be announcing that in the next few weeks. But I can promise that it will be very, very special and unforgettable. So, if there's anyone in Italy who loves the opera, and there is a rumor that the people of Italy love their opera, since you created most of the best operas, come to Toronto in February. It's nice and cold. It'll be colder than in Italy. You can stay cool and join us for Jesse Norman. Anyway, thank you again for that, and to Jesse, we love you.
Thank you, Brian, and maybe see you in February for follow live this beautiful event. We'll invite all the friends in Italy to follow this event, and if you are in Toronto, of course, don't miss the opportunity to watch Jesse Norman. It's very important Glenn Gould Prize, a true inspiration. So thank you so much, Brian Levine, and see you soon. Happy anniversary.
See you in February, and see you in November for your great celebration, and for Glenn's birthday later this month.
Yes, it's in September 28th. Yes, of course. We have a lot of great artists. We have Cesar Correa Estrada, we have Emanuele Stracchi for the second time, and we have a very young pianist called Alessia Cecchetti, and of course with us there is the comedian and actor Enrico Beruschi, and we are prepared a very great surprise to homage Musica Camera by Glenn CBC documentary. So it will be very funny and also of course cultural event. We have concert, we have interviews, and also special at the showroom of the amazing handcraft pianos Fazioli. So it's the second edition, and we'd love to thank also Paolo Fazioli for believing so much in the Glenn Gould legacy. And we don't know if Glenn would love Fazioli, but of course we're sure that we want to try one. According to our experience, it was, experimenting new things. So this piano was also appreciated by great artists, and we're so happy.
Well, it sounds incredible, Alida. Once again, you've outdone yourself. The work that you do with gifted musicians and presenting them to a world audience through the internet, and helping them to explore their repertoire, but also to link their spirit with Glenn's spirit. It's incredible, the work in education and in bringing music to people who don't get to experience it in their lives because they live in difficult circumstances. That is absolutely amazing, and I know Glenn would have loved that. And I just say, you guys just keep up the incredible work. You are doing something that is so important and so valuable for all of us.
Thank you. You're a great inspiration for us, and also Glenn is a great inspiration for us. I send you a big hug from the warmest Milano, and hope to talk soon. And great anniversary. Our best wishes to you, Brian, and to the Glenn Gould Foundation.
Oh, and a great big transatlantic hug to you all. Hello to the people in Milano, and help us celebrate our birthday, help us celebrate Glenn's birthday, but mostly help us celebrate music and the arts every day of the year. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao Brian.
The Major, fatta dai soci per i social di Major.tv.